Hello and welcome back to Kitchen Tips with Spread Some Magic. Today we're talking mushrooms. We're going to try to get through 3 facts in 3 minutes because that's all the shorts will allow. Anyhow, washing fresh mushrooms. Maybe you've heard you shouldn't wash fresh mushrooms. What they came to the conclusion of is don't wash them until you're ready to cook them or they will indeed lose their texture. They found there was no difference between rinsing them in a colander and wiping them with a cloth, a wet cloth, which is the method I always do. My view is rinsing them under a colander isn't going to get that dirt off of them. Yes, they may be like shaken loose of the dirt, but mushrooms are found in like not nice soil. So I like to, even if I have to cut a lot, wipe them with a wet cloth, but I don't do it until I'm ready. Same with your berries. Number 2 in here was the white button mushrooms taste better if they're older, and that was found to be true. They suppose that as these mushrooms sit in your fridge, like when you go to the store, I still kind of do go for those really bright white ones, and I don't want the ones with blemishes. But the blemishes come about generally as moisture evaporates out of the mushroom. And they said that will actually concentrate the flavor and make it more flavorful for however you want to cook them. So it's okay if they have blemishes. Still, for salads, I don't eat them on my salad, but I like nice and firm ones. But for, say, omelets, or if I'm mincing them, because I don't mind minced mushrooms, then I do I don't mind if they're a little blemished. But for salads, I guess to look prettier, I like the firm ones. But again, it's up to you, your choice. And then the third thing in here, it says it's impossible to overcook mushrooms. And what they said is that that's kind of true. Their cell walls are made of a polymer called chitin, and they're not a vegetable, they're a fungus. So proteins or the pectin in vegetables will break down and can be overcooked. But chitin, C-H-I-T-I-N, I could totally be saying that wrong, is very heat stable. So this unique structure allows us to saute mushrooms for just a few minutes or roast them for the better part of an hour, all while achieving well-browned, perfectly tender specimens. I like throwing a little, like for chopped mushrooms, if I'm putting them in an omelet or in a meal, like I'll add them to my cheesesteak. I like putting them in a pan and sprinkling with salt and allowing the moisture to come out of them. And then they brown up really nice and they have a really great flavor that way. And then I'll add the butter to them. But generally you put mushrooms in a dry pan to draw out that moisture to get that more in-depth flavor. So whether you eat mushrooms or not, I hope you learned something today. And thanks for joining me, and be sure to spread some magic wherever you are.